Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. In the cozy nook of a bustling cafe, 5 friends laughed, their voices blending with the lively chatter around them. Sam, amidst his buddies, had a secret buried deep within his heart, a story he had never shared. Every joke and lighthearted tease from his friends was cherished, but the unseen barrier of his concealed truth always lingered invisibly among them. That evening, as the golden sun melted into shades of soft pinks and purples, painting a serene picture in the sky, Sam's mind was anything but calm. Inside him, a storm of emotions raged, desperate to be acknowledged. His friends, oblivious to his internal conflict, continued their lively discussion about plans, careers, and upcoming events. An invitation to a significant party in their social circle was the highlight of the evening, promising a night of fun, dance, and cherished memories. In the warm ambiance, where everyone else found comfort, Sam was wrestling with a significant decision: to share the hidden part of himself with his friends, or to keep the secret locked away, shrouded in fears and what-ifs. He gazed at his friends, observing their joyous expressions and uninhibited laughter. A thought flitted through his mind. Would they laugh the same way if they knew his truth? The truth was that Sam, in the solitude of his own space, often wore clothes typically assigned to women and felt a deep, genuine connection with a feminine identity. In the secrecy of his room, he became Samantha, and every fiber of his being resonated with that name, that identity. However, the world outside his safe, personal sanctuary knew nothing of Samantha, only Sam and the image he presented every day. His friends, Jake, Maria, Lily, and Ben, cherished Sam for the person they thought they knew. A dependable, cheerful guy who always had a wise crack ready to lighten the mood. Sam was terrified that revealing Samantha to them would shatter their perceptions and perhaps the friendship they shared. So he chose silence. His heart held onto the secret, even as his eyes gleamed with an unspoken plea for understanding and acceptance whenever he looked at his friends. Sam, with a sigh, internalized his truth once more, allowing the familiar mask to slide back into place, concealing Samantha from the world's view. As the night wore on, Sam's laughter mingled with that of his friends, yet it was underscored by a quiet sadness, a melody only he could hear. The story of Samantha remained untold, whispered only to the stars that blinked down at him as he made his way home, alone with his concealed reality. In his room, Sam looked at himself in the mirror, the lines of his face telling stories of silent struggles and unshed tears. He gently placed a hand on the mirror as if trying to reach through to another world where Samantha could live freely. But for now, he simply whispered her name, a secret kept between him and his reflection. Late at night, when the world was enshrouded in darkness and stars flickered distantly in the sky, Sam's room was lit by a gentle, warm light. A deep sigh filled the space as Sam stood before his closet, his fingers lingering on the clothes that concealed his secret, his hidden identity. Here, hidden behind shirts, jeans, and jackets, lay the garments that allowed him to step into the shoes of Samantha. Slowly, Sam slid the clothes aside, revealing a carefully curated collection of dresses, skirts, and blouses. His eyes gleamed with a mixture of longing and hesitation as they trailed over each piece. He touched the fabric gently, feeling the soft caress of the materials against his fingers. For Sam, these weren't just clothes. They were fragments of his hidden identity, pieces of a puzzle that, when put together, revealed Samantha. He pulled out a red dress, its fabric cascading softly from the hanger, the material whispering promises of transformation. Sam held it against his body, looking into the mirror, imagining the reflection of Samantha staring back at him. Sam carefully unbuttoned his shirt and removed his jeans, placing them neatly on the chair. His movements were gentle, almost reverent, as he stepped into the dress. The fabric kissed his skin softly, and as he pulled the zipper up, he felt a familiar shift within him. Samantha was no longer just a whisper in the night. She stood there, adorned in the red dress, her existence painted in vibrant colors. Next, he turned his attention to a wig that lay delicately on the mannequin. A cascade of dark, wavy locks awaited to frame his face, softening his features into Samantha's visage. As he settled the wig onto his head, adjusting it until it sat perfectly, he saw her appear bit by bit in the mirror before him. His hands gently stroked the nylon-covered legs, appreciating the smooth sensation beneath his fingers. He sat down, selecting a pair of modest yet feminine heels, slipping his feet into them and adjusting the straps. Standing up, he felt the familiar shift in posture, the subtle change in balance that the heels demanded. Then came the makeup, an art that Sam had perfected over the years, exploring and understanding each contour of his face. The brush danced across his face, blush adding a gentle rosiness to his cheeks, mascara elongating his lashes, and lipstick, a soft pink, gracing his lips with femininity. As he lined his eyes, they sparkled back at him, reflecting both gratitude and sadness. Samantha looked at her reflection, taking in every detail. She was a vision of beauty, elegance, and secret strength, masked by vulnerability. Yet her eyes told tales of hidden pain, of moments lived in shadows, and of a silent yearning for the world to see her, to truly see her, and to acknowledge her existence. For hours, Samantha lived within the safe confines of those four walls. She danced to silent tunes, whispered dreams into the quiet night, and allowed herself to live, truly live, even if it was just for a little while. But as the first light of dawn crept through the curtains, fear seeped into the momentary freedom she had allowed herself. Samantha, with a heavy heart, had to retreat into the shadows once more, allowing Sam to step back into the world, leaving her existence confined to the quiet sanctuary of this secret space. Tears streamed down her face, smearing the carefully applied makeup as she removed the dress and wig, wiping away the lipstick and tracing back into the familiar territory of Sam's life. The room, once a stage for Samantha's brief, beautiful existence, turned back into Sam's quiet, orderly space. A silent promise lingered in the air as Sam looked into the mirror, his eyes meeting those that had sparkled with life just a moment ago. He whispered a quiet apology to Samantha, promising that one day the world would see her, not just in stolen moments shrouded in secrecy, but in the boundless, bright light of day. And with that promise hanging heavily in the air, Sam stepped out of his room wearing a forced smile as he ventured out into another day where he was seen but not truly known. Under the gentle hue of the waning moon, Samantha gazed at her reflection, the soft light casting a delicate glow upon her. The quiet of the night seemed to invite her into a world where her secret self could breathe beyond the confines of her secluded room. Her heart beat rapidly at the thought of stepping outside, of allowing Samantha to walk under the night's soft, protective cloak. She wore a blue dress tonight, its fabric light and flowing, brushing against her nylon-covered legs with every subtle movement. The makeup on her face was gentle, highlighting her features with a soft, natural elegance, while the wig's dark waves tumbled gracefully down her shoulders. Samantha hesitated at the door, her hand on the knob, feeling the weight of the decision before her. After years of confining her true self to the shadows, the prospect of stepping into the outer world was both thrilling and terrifying. With a deep, steadying breath, she opened the door and stepped outside. The cool night air gently caressed her face as she began to walk along the dimly lit streets, her heels clicking softly against the pavement. The world was quietly alive, distant sounds whispering of life continuing all around, yet it felt like Samantha had stepped into a tranquil bubble where she could simply be. As she continued to walk, she noticed a small group of people ahead, their laughter and light conversation drifting through the night. Panic fluttered in her chest, but she steeled herself and continued forward, her steps firm and determined. It was then that she realized the approaching group was familiar, far too familiar. Her friends, Jake, Maria, Lily, and Ben, were walking towards her, engaged in a lively discussion, their faces illuminated by the sporadic streetlights. Samantha's heart raced, a million thoughts swirling through her mind. She considered turning around, retreating back to the safety of her home, but her feet seemed rooted to the spot. As they drew closer, her friend's features became clearer, and the recognition in their eyes was notably absent. Samantha was a stranger to them, a passerby in the night. They approached her, and she mustered the courage to lift her eyes, meeting their gazes head-on. It was Jake who spoke to her first, his voice friendly and light.
"Hey, we haven't seen you around here before. Are you new to the neighborhood?"
Samantha's mind raced, scrambling to conjure a voice that would conceal her identity. She spoke, her voice emerging softer, higher yet steady.
"Hi, yes, I just moved here recently."
Her friends, none the wiser, introduced themselves, extending warm welcomes and friendly smiles. Their eyes, once mirrors reflecting shared experiences and camaraderie, now saw her as a new acquaintance, an unfamiliar face. Maria chimed in, "We're actually heading to a party right now. You should join us. It'll be a fun way to meet more people." Samantha hesitated, her thoughts a whirlwind of emotions and implications. Going to a party meant more people, more interactions, and increased risk of being discovered. Yet, a part of her, the part that had longed for freedom and acceptance, urged her to go. To experience life as Samantha, even if just for one night, was a tantalizing prospect. "I'd love to join you. Thank you for the invite," Samantha found herself saying, her voice barely more than a gentle whisper carried by the night. Together, they walked towards the gathering, Samantha's mind awash with conflicting emotions. Would the night unfold as a dream or morph into a nightmare of revelation? Only time would tell. As the sounds of music and merry voices grew louder, Samantha stepped into the light, leaving the shadows behind, if only for a fleeting moment. The lively chatter of the party, intertwined with the upbeat rhythm of the music, enveloped Samantha as she stepped into the lively space. Colors swirled around in a merry dance, as people, lost in the revelry of the night, wore wide smiles and carefree laughter. Samantha moved with cautious grace, her blue dress gently swaying with each step, the nylon whispering softly against her skin. Her eyes scanned the room, noting faces familiar and unfamiliar alike, yet all unknowing of the secret she harbored. She conversed with various partygoers, her voice maintaining its delicate feminine pitch, each exchange a mixture of genuine connection and underlying fear. Samantha was here, visible to all, yet her truth remained shrouded in protective secrecy. As the night waned, she noticed her friends occasionally glancing towards the entrance, their expressions a blend of confusion and concern. They were awaiting Sam's arrival, oblivious to the reality that he was already there, veiled beneath the persona of Samantha. Eventually, Maria approached, her brows knit in gentle concern. "I hope Sam didn't forget about tonight. It's not like him to miss a party without saying anything." Samantha felt a pang in her chest, witnessing the worry in Maria's eyes, seeing the unspoken questions linger there. Her truth, so carefully protected, now teetered on a delicate edge, threatening to tumble into the open. Hours passed, moments stitched together by laughter, dancing, and an ever-present undercurrent of anxiety. Samantha found herself outside, the cool air offering a stark contrast to the warm, energetic atmosphere inside. She stared into the night, the stars blinking softly from afar, tiny spectators to her internal turmoil. As footsteps approached, she turned, finding Jake joining her in the quiet solitude of the night. "You seem deep in thought," he commented gently. A silent pause lingered between them, the unsaid words hanging heavily in the air. Samantha's heart ached with the burden of her secret, the dual life she had navigated for so long now demanding resolution. In a moment that seemed suspended in time, she spoke, her voice barely audible. "Jake, there's something I need to tell you, something I need all of you to know." He looked at her, his eyes reflecting kindness and patient curiosity. Samantha led him back inside, gathering Maria, Lily, and Ben, her palms damp with nervous perspiration, heart pounding fiercely within her chest. Facing her friends, the people who had known Sam but not Samantha, she took a shuddering breath. The person you've been waiting for, Sam, is already here. I am Sam." A hush fell over the group, expressions frozen in a tableau of shock, confusion, and disbelief. Samantha, her eyes glistening with vulnerability and fear, continued. "I've lived with this truth in silence for so long, confined to shadows, hidden behind a mask. But I can't live in the shadows any longer. I need you to know me. All of me." The silence lingered as seconds stretched into an eternity. Then Ben spoke, his voice gentle yet heavy with emotion. "Why didn't you tell us, Sam? Did you think we wouldn't understand?" Samantha shook her head, tears trailing down her cheeks. "It was never about not trusting you. It was about protecting myself. Protecting Samantha from a world that isn't always kind to those who defy expectations." They stood there amidst the remnants of the party, a spectrum of emotions swirling through the space between them. Samantha had unveiled her truth, a narrative interwoven with pain, longing, and authenticity. Now it lingered there, raw and exposed, awaiting acceptance or rejection. And then Lily stepped forward, her eyes meeting Samantha's, and spoke words that seemed to cradle her fragile heart with gentle understanding. "Sam, Samantha, whoever you choose to be, you're our friend. Your truth doesn't change that." Maria and Jake nodded, echoing Lily's sentiment, while Ben added, "We're here for you no matter what." In that moment, amidst the fragments of her unveiled truth, Samantha found something profound and unexpected. Her friends, confronted with a reality they had not anticipated, chose acceptance, understanding, and unwavering support. It was not an immediate transformation, nor an effortless transition for the group. There were questions, awkward moments, and adjustments to be made. But the friendship, now anchored in a deeper, authentic connection, offered Samantha the space to live her truth freely. And so Samantha, once hidden in the shadows, found light in the acceptance of her friends, her journey unfolding into chapters yet to be written. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.